right, so basically, we want to understand if you're talking about graffiti, what is graffiti about in the art industry?
For me, graffiti is one way or one medium in art. It's basically street art, but not just street art. Now graffiti is just like a fine art. So now what the world normally do is graffiti fine art. So I think now it's like what we do is like it's like what you see in the gallery. So mostly now what I do with my crew and my other guys, we normally do graffiti fine art. So it's like open gallery stuff.
Okay, understanding. We have different. I'm sure we have different forms of art. So why did you personally choose graffiti?
For me, I started as a painter. I'm still a painter. So that's the only way that I can flow. So I feel okay with what I'm doing now.
Okay, so when you develop the love for art? When actually do you recognize that you have a love for art?
For me, when I was very young, around age of 9 years, 10 years, I know that I draw on blackboard and with chalk. So that's where so since when I was around 10, 11, I knew that I'm going to be an artist, if not a musician, a dancer, which I cannot dance now, but I'm still in that thing.
So, which stories do you actually focus on when you are telling the art story with graffiti? Which stories? Is it an African story? What exactly do you focus on?
For me, it's an African story, social story, what is happening around me. You know, I'm always influenced by where I come from, like Nima, the stories people wrote about us. So for the past years, I use art to change those narrative about Nima, and I create a lot of tourism. People come to Nima and get to know more about the way Nima people are, and people are kind of free. They are very welcoming. The hospitality is good, and nobody will it's a free world. Nima is like everywhere. So I'm trying to use art graffiti now to change the public, like the public walls. I think Accra's like walls are blank. When you go outside, it's kind of different. People appreciate this kind of art. People make a lot of money because when we finish this beautiful wall, I think it will be hard for somebody to come and put rubbish by the wall because the place is kind of nice and it has a story related to everybody here. And I'm trying to work on social issues about futuristic and history and culture of Africa. That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay, let's divert a bit. Let's look at how this has been an employment avenue for you and how you're making money from it. So officially, how many projects have you embarked on, and how is the income level? Is it good for someone to also join?
To them, this is a good opportunity for these young artists coming up who are trying to do street art to get employment, and this. Definitely we are getting something from it, and this is the first one that we want to do with it. And Ministry of Arts and Tourism, these people, they only focus on these musicians and actors, and I think it's high time for them to look up to these artists like this visual art, especially the street art. Trust me, this is the only way that can change Accra, because we tried, Charlotte has tried, people see the benefit that the country made out of it. Afrochella came, a lot of like festival, they use this street art to make a lot of like income and bring tourism. And I think doing this public art will change everything. Trust me, with this street art we can use it to educate about sanitation, about these health issues, about these public defecation problems that we have. We have to just use topics that will relate to people. Yeah, not just drawings, nice drawings on the walls. When you look at this wall, we are trying to put the hustle and bustle of Accra everyday's life. I think everybody is related to this work. When you are standing back, when people are working, it's like they are part of the work, because this is what is happening in Accra, and we are trying to channel Accra before, now, and the future on the world. So when you go out,
So let's touch on your experience when you were in Brazil. You've met with world-class artists. So how has it been, and how has it improved on your work also?
for me, Brazil has been an eye-opener, has been a learning curve for me. I work with over 80 artists around the world. I'm the only black artist, like a black African, to be part of and Ghanaian. And they are very welcoming, and it's an environment where everybody is not that lazy. Everybody is always wanted to paint, and it's kind of environment for me, and that's why we have Ghana Graffiti. This kind of like we're trying to bring artists together, so that every day or holidays we can organize this kind of public project to do with the government and other organizations for me, and we can learn from it. For me, I brought a lot of experience from Brazil. When you look at my social media, you can see the work that I did. It's about the Tabon people. And when we say about Tabon people don't know about Tabon people. They are Afro-Brazilians. They live here in Ghana. People like Azuma Nelson, they are Afro-Brazilians. Their roots are from Brazil, not raw Ghanaians. Azuma Nelson, Georgina Woods, these people are big people who made a lot for this country, but their roots are from Brazil people. So I try to put light on that history about Tabon people, because I went to Brazil. So now more people are making history about the Tabon people, about Afro-Brazilians here in Ghana. Yeah, so
basically, before we end, what do you have to tell the world about your act, telling the story of Ghana, especially Africa?
Africa, the world have to watch out for Ghana and Accra, and I think the new mayor, that guy is like a open-minded person. He's always open for ideas, for his support. For me, I try to do this way back. It's a dream come true. That's why you see that I'm here. I'm enjoying what I'm doing now, because this is what I dream of, to have these public spaces to paint, and to make other artists, the young artists coming up, to have this, to get inspired at whatever you are doing. There is hope in it, and there is future, and I think it's paying off. This is like you are doing music for the public, or doing national anthem or other stuff for the public. So we all have to contribute to society. We don't have to own a big position in society before we can make a change. For me, this is what I can do for the country. This is my contribution. Because the president says, once says, we don't have to be spectators, we have to be a citizen. So we all have to take responsibilities. We don't have to leave the city for the AMA, the mayor to clean we all have to be the police, clean the country, make sure we all move forward. For me, Accra should watch out, Africa should watch out. This is the destination, new destination for street after Sao Paulo, Paris, and San Antonio. I think this is the new destination for street art.
Thank you very much.